December 15th, the third Sunday of Advent, a time of reflection, preparation, and awareness that Jesus is coming back again to save us. Life is made of series of events in order to prepare us for the future. Events that in most of the cases are challenges or attempts to prove yourself. Every time you overcome a challenge, you are rewarded with wisdom. Every time you fail, you are also rewarded with wisdom, which comes with discernment. This moment of self-reflection or exchange experience with another person, something that we just did here, will help you to avoid the same mistakes already made in the past. As in Proverbs 2:10, it says, "Wisdom will come into your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul." It is reaffirmed, giving a personification for the wisdom on Proverbs 3:14, saying, "For her, wisdom, income is better than silver, and her revenue better than gold." Having said that, let's make the Holy Scriptures our guideline in order to understand and receive Jesus one more time. Let's prepare our hearts and minds praying and be aware that Jesus is coming again. I'm so thrilled about that. Okay, so this prelude, is a prelude for a joke. I'm going to tell you a joke. See if it's going to be good. A called prophet gathered people around in a public space in order to perform some healings. A stuttered and the lame who needed a cane, the lame needed a cane to move, present themselves. "I want to be healed." So the healer put his hand on the mouth of stuttered, said some words, and told, "Wait until I heal the lame." He turned to the lame and put his hands on the lame's leg, said a few words, and removed the cane off the lame, and turned to the stutterer and said, "Please, say something." Then the stutterer said, the lame fell down. Okay, this small introduction leads us to our main theme tonight. Based on the opening story about the lame and the stutterer, I ask you, are you a person of faith or hope? Here are some sentences for you, and I would like to know in what situation will you apply the word faith or hope. Eyes on the screen. So first is, wake up on time to go to work or school on Monday morning. I hope that I will do that. Number 2, receive a phone call or text message from a beloved one on a special day. Do you consider hope or faith? Good. Third, you pass a test. You hope? I hope it passes. Good, see? Depends on the test, very good. Number 4, your son or daughter passed a test. Is it hope or faith? Or if you don't pass it, kill you. Number 5 is for women, okay? Say just one time what to do to your husband. Say one time just to do for your husband, and he will do that. Is that a hope or faith? Woman. Now it's our turn, man. Now it's our turn. Wait for she put back the 2 on the right place where she got it. That's funny, right? Never happens. Number 7, your son or daughter be at home before your curfew. Is that hope or faith? Number 8, to be invited to the Super Bowl game. Faith. I hope. Or faith. I pray to God. Somebody, hey, I have an extra ticket here. Number 9, win the lottery. Hope. Number 10, somebody that is ill. What do you mean?
That would be faith.
Faith, okay. A close relative that is ill. And the last one, a really bad self-ill. Well, according to the dictionary, the meaning of hope can be a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing that to happen, a person or thing that may help or save someone, or grounds for believing that something good may happen. What about faith? What the dictionary says. It says that faith is complete trust or confidence in someone or something, or a strong belief in God or in the doctrines of a religion based on spiritual apprehension rather than proof. According to these meanings, would you change any of your answers on the sentence above? Would you change that? No? Maybe? I don't know. We apply the word hope to those or situations that do not depend on us directly. We just wish that our desire is fulfilled by someone or something. Every night we go to bed without any assurance or of being alive the next morning, but still we set the alarms to wake up. That is hope. I'll give an example of hope. This is myself saying. During my army training in Brazil, there was a night training in order to enhance our skills in how to move in a dense vegetation and an unknown terrain. That exercise was during winter time. Just an explanation here. Our winter months in Brazil are milder than here. To be more precise, it's like the fall here. Daytime, the temperature is around 60s, and night goes down to 40s. During that day, we had a pleasant temperature of upper 60s, and I do remember really well. One of the activities was to cross a ditch, crawling. So far, no big deal, even fun to cool down. However, when we got to the night instruction, we were still soaking and wet, and the temperature dropped to the 40s, and it started to wind. The real feeling in that situation was like 32 Fahrenheit. While receiving instruction for the next activity and waiting for whatever it was, we started to hear people shivering, and as the time passed by, the sound became louder. At some point, my jaw had a mind of its own. I could not stop it of shaking. When I tried to close my mouth, my head started to shake. At that time, our hope was to please send us to the mission right now. It is freezing cold here. Give us something to do. Then the captain ordered us to wear our poncho. A small feeling of relief was granted. But our great joy was when, after 1 hour 30 minutes walking on a complete dark territory, we accomplished our mission. That small decision to wear the poncho gave us hope for the rest of the mission. Now the word faith is strongly applied to our beliefs in institutions and ourselves where God is allowed and has a solid ground to act. Once all villagers decided to pray for rain, on the day of prayer, all the people gathered, but only one boy came with an umbrella. That is faith. According to the Gospels, most healings performed by Jesus were because people believed in Him. They had faith on Him. A few examples. Matthew 8:13. Jesus heals the centurion's servant. In this passage, Jesus says, "Go, let it be done for you according to your faith." Another example is the 2 blind men who were healed. On Matthew 9:27-31, Jesus says, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" They said to Him, "Yes, Lord." Then He touched their eyes and said, "According to your faith, let it be done to you." Last example among several others is on Luke 8:48, where a woman is healed by just touching the fringe of Jesus' clothes. In the middle of a multitude, Jesus was walking and suddenly He stopped and asked, "Who touched me?" Peter said, Master, the crowd surround you and pressing on you. But Jesus said, someone touched me, for I noticed that a power had gone out from me. When the woman saw that she could not remain hidden, she came trembling and falling down before him, she declared in the presence of all the people why she had touched him and how she had been immediately healed. He said to her, Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Among all the healings performed by Jesus Christ, this one, the woman's healing, is the most exciting and inspiring one. Think with me. Jesus was a celebrity. Wherever he would go, the news ran faster than a Twitter message, and people gathered around him as close as possible to see him or even to touch him. Now, I picture this passion like a rock concert. Those that have been to a rock concert, you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been to a rock concert, your wish is to get as close as possible from the artist, to the artist. However, to get there is a struggle. You are pushed, crushed, squeezed, but you don't give up. And every time you look up, you see the stage closer. Gives you hope. And you keep going until you finally get in the front row. And that is a reward, especially when you look back and you see all that you had been through to get there. Analogies apart, that woman was bleeding for a long time, and her only desire was to touch Jesus' clothes. She knew that was her only chance to get healed. Even with pain and suffering from her disease, she persevered until she achieves her goal, and she did it. Her faith was greater than her pain, and she was rewarded, even though afraid to be punished when she hesitated to show up. When Jesus was asking who had touched her, she came trembling and fell down before him. Despite of Jesus was surrounded by hundreds of people, taking baby steps to move forward in that uneven ground. Maybe stepping on people's toes because there are so many people around him. He just lost power when that woman touched him. At that moment, the world witnesses how merciful Jesus was. Brothers and sisters, this story of the woman specifically shows us how sometimes when we are in pain or grieving or sad and it is hard to see a way out, God hears our prayers. God shows us the light or bring the right people to help in your suffering. Maybe giving a few days, the pain that you are under will simply go. Okay? That was just a cold. Now I'm feeling well. But sometimes it gets worse. The latter one is when your faith starts to speak up louder. Just like that woman, may your faith in God be more than money, career, social status, property, objects, more than anything in your time of distress. And I'm sure that God will comfort you, bringing relief and joy to your life. Keep your faith and hope even when the odds are small. Just like in Matthew 26:39, when Jesus was praying before being arrested, he says, "My Father, it is possible. Let this cup pass from me. Yet not what I want, but what you want." That moment, we see Jesus, he's having hope for God, his Father. Please put away the cup for me. It's a lot of what I'm going through. So praise God all the time, just like Jesus did, and trust on his judgment, because God's utmost goal is your happiness. Jesus taught us to love one another, therefore care for one another. God has unlimited ways to help you. And one way is sending people to assist you in times that you most need. And you will be ending up calling these people angels. So I want you to take this charge be faithful to God and ask God to teach how to trust on Him. Take all challenges in life and learn with them. Have faith in God all the time. I'm just like to, this passage reminds what we just witnessed yesterday. We were going to Enslow and we saw an accident on the Route 652. Luckily, nothing happened with the driver, but the trailer of the truck hit beside the truck, the car, and just destroyed all the left side of his van. And we saw everything. As soon as he pulled over, I just pulled over right behind him, see if everything was okay. Luckily, we were there because he didn't have a cell phone. I don't know what will be the chances for him to somebody stop by and assist him, but we were there. So maybe I consider to him we were his angels that moment. So an ambulance stopped by, he had all the assistance, and we just keep our life. So I just want us now pray, just give our time, because this is our time of